These movements are squashed, and there's a very famous saying that all the sincere scholars in the Muslim world, you find them in prisons. You don't find them out there cruising around in nice flash cars, but they are locked up because they're wanted by the governments, they're wanted by these agencies. And subhanallah, this is the reality of the Muslim world that we're living in, and a lot of us are not aware because we're spun certain stories through Western medias, and I guess sometimes maybe it's information that we've gathered over time.
Yeah, I just wanted to make is Muslims to be united. We're not calling for anything evil. We're calling for something that is,
Quite
more
right.
righteous than what is, around in so many parts of the world.
Yeah.
And I was saying to him that we believe in the Quran, we believe in Allah's word, and Allah said that we'll be questioned on speaking out on these things. And I said, look, average people, average Joes like ourselves, we'll be questioned at the Imams even more so. So it's important that we do raise our voice, especially in this time, because if we become scared of some of the things that are happening and we're set on the back foot as Muslims, the people out there with the agendas of discriminating against Muslims or taking their rights away or imprisoning them, they're gonna walk all over your house anyway.
Yeah. Easy.
They're gonna walk all over your house anyway. So
it goes without saying that when you're in power and you've got control over the political world, you don't want anything to arise that's going to topple that. And you can see it in a very small context in the time of Rasulullah, where the revelation came to Rasulullah. The Quraysh, the leaders of the Quraysh, they knew what this message meant. They knew that this message was going to remove their authority and have authority that's above them, that they have no influence over. So this was a fundamental issue of the Quraysh of that time. Even though they may have agreed with what Rasulullah was saying, but they would not allow their hegemony to go. And the reality today is that Western governments that have power, the Muslim governments that have power, they don't want to lose their authority. They're put in that place that they've got a comfortable little kind of like kingdom, and they're happy with that. And the rise of such a system will threaten them. Yeah, if you've got the nicest car, or maybe it's not the best example, but if you've got the best car in town, you're driving around all the time, everybody loves you for that. You get all the attention. You're the main guy. Nobody kind of like goes past without saying something to you. Suddenly you find somebody else has got a better car than you, and they're driving around the same streets as you, and all of a sudden everybody's giving that person attention and not you. You can't deal with that. You want to retain that kind of position, that status symbol, or obviously in the context of politics, you want to retain that political power. So you do not allow any other power to dominate. It's the same with the 80s that we saw communism and capitalism, with this constant struggle between them. You found capitalism obviously dominating over communism. So today we find the reality is that, look, secular liberalism, or democracy you want to call it, is losing out to the revival that's going on throughout the Muslim world. Gone are the days where the concept of the state and religion were two separate entities, because we know through Rasulullah that he came to govern. He wasn't only the prophet, he wasn't only a spiritual leader, but he was a political leader. So he unified these two concepts together, that there was no separation of the state and religion. Rather, they were encompassed in one, that everything came from that same source. We didn't take a source for our spiritual guidance as one and another source for our political guidance. Rather, it was the same. And this is the important thing. And I remember once the brother said to me, in a very simple way, he goes, Asif, just like you pray, you go to the Imam and you ask for his advice and you ask him to give you guidance on how to pray properly. He said, you wouldn't go to the church and ask them to govern your political affairs. You want to ask the church or the priest to sort of like tell you how to rule this and rule that. So in that context, when we look at our affairs, we have to look at what source we're deriving this information from. Are we looking at